Hi, so in this video I want to add in another MCI string command, which is status. Status will allow us to extract how long our sound is so that we know how long we need to play it before we close it. And then I'll go through closing the sound so that we can free up the memory and not not crash at some point, right? So let's get started. All right, so this is where these numbers start, these particular arguments start to play. We need to send a status report send a status to it, so it reports us something, and we need to grab that information from it, and we need to grab it into a buffer of some sort. So what I'll do is I'll create a buffer so that we can store the information of how long this sound that we've loaded in is going to be. So we'll call it, we'll go C types buffer. We'll set it to 255 because it will generally never be as long, longer than that. And I guess before we play the sound, we should ask for how long this thing is. Command. So we'll have another command, status, and the command we're sending is status, some kind of name, whatever, test, and then the length. That's really it. And then it will give us how long this thing is, this sound is. So we'll do that. We'll plus the alias, and then we'll go length. And then we're going to send a string command again, but this time around we need to extract how long the file how long the file is. So in here we need to use these numbers, and the way we do it is the return value will come out of here. So we'll put buff into there, so you'll fill up the information we need here, and we're telling the string command that our buffer is 255. We'll just set it to 255. That's kind of the max anyway for it. Actually it's 254. It's the end, so it's always one less. All right, so that's that. So now we need to actually get the buffer will return to us a number in milliseconds. So if it's 1 second of sound, it'll send us 1,000. All right, and so we need to extract that information from buffer. Now I'm not a Python expert. I found it difficult to do this part, so I've just done it the way I know that works for me. So I'll show you what I do, and I've already done it, so I might as well just tell you how I did it. So I need some kind of length. Give me some kind of length, and what I do is I grab the buffer and I convert it. I convert it to a byte array. So the buffer is in some kind of C type array, and I convert it to a byte array because, well, you know, if there's a better way to do this, please let me know in the comments below. But and then this byte array, because I'm not sure how to handle it, I convert it to a string. And with Python, when it converts to a byte array, the byte array looks something like this, like x00, you know, and then you got a byte, and then x00, and then you got another byte, and it's a string, right? It's a string. And then what I end up doing with this string is I just get rid of the x00s in the front of every byte. I'm just going to replace. I'm going to replace. Actually, it looks more like this. The string looks like this. Now you can actually show yourself that, but I'm not going to go through that process. I think I figured it out well the way I've done it. And I'm going to replace it with emptiness. So I'm basically getting rid of it, and that's the only way I can do it. I don't know how else I can do it. And then what I do is there's some stuff in the front of the byte array, like at the front of the byte array even in Python it goes byte array, you know, B. It's got some little tags in front of it, like something like that, right? Something like that at the start of it. So I just need to get rid of that as well. So I'm basically just turning into a string and just getting rid of things so that all I've got is the actual value that I need. So that's kind of the way I'm doing it, like so. For this one, I'll use, since there's a quote in there, I'll use a double quote. So I interchange, I use a double quote here because there's a quote that I need to get rid of. Anyway, and then I'll replace it with emptiness. And finally, there's at the end of it, at the end of this byte array, there's like this symbol here like that I need to get rid of. I want, this is not C, this is like 1. I want these numbers, and I don't want any of these, and I don't want any of these stuff. I want any of this stuff. I want the number in front there, and I don't want any of this number at the back there. So I'm just getting rid of those things. So what I'll do is I'll now replace the end with nothing. And I usually replace to get rid of it because I don't know what else to use to get rid of stuff in Python. So but that works for me. So this whole line of code works for me. I'll just comment that one out. Alright, so I get rid of all these. I get rid of the start of the byte array, and I get rid of at the end of the byte array, and just I'm left with the actual numbers, which constructs a length for me. Now this length is is a string, so we want it to be a string anyway. So that's good. So now we want to play the sound from 0 to the actual length of this. We can just set it to the actual length. Right, so to the actual length, and then what I want to do is now I want to spawn a timer that closes this sound off when I finish playing the sound. So I need a function that does a close sound. How long we have? We got a good amount of time. Let's create another function to close our sound. So close sound, and this time round, I wonder if we need close sound only needs an alias, because play sound needs a file name. Close sound can just have an alias. And what I want to do here is I want to set up a command to close space the name, whatever I'm closing, and that's it. Whatever I want to close, and then I want to MCI send that command to the devices command. Alright, so that's pretty much all I need for close. I guess I could print the command off just to say that, just to make sure things are closing. And I guess I could print off the last command, the play command, just to make sure things are playing and things are closing. And finally, I need to spawn the technique I'm using is I'm going to spawn some kind of thread that will kind of wait for the sound to finish playing, and then close the sound. Alright, so what I need to do is I need to import a few things. I need to import time and threading, and this can help us spawn some kind of a background worker to help us close that sound when we need to. And we go threading.timer, set up a timer, and I need the timer. The first input it needs is the seconds, the amount of seconds that it's going to wait. So it needs to wait basically this length, and it needs seconds. This one needs milliseconds, but this thing needs seconds. So I need to divide by 1,000. So I'll convert the length into an int and divide by 1,000. Then I'm going to call the close sound function and pass in a parameter. Pass it. And to pass in parameters, you use square brackets in Python, which I found out. And we'll just pass in the name that we want to close when the timer hits that end. And we'll start that thread so that straight away we play the sound, it waits, and then it closes that particular sound name. Oh yeah, right. Actually, I just checked it. The string actually has a closed bracket here that I need to get rid of. So I need to get rid of that closed bracket, which is here. So this is the actual byte array string that I'm trying to extract these numbers from, 116 there as an example. Oh yes, I can see I forgot to put more parameters in here, 0, 0, 0. So I always forget that. Let's try that now. Beautiful. So I'm just, so that works nice. That works nice. So you can hear, so you can see in here, it plays the sound, waits for it, however long the sound, and then it just closes it off for us. So we just handle the close for us. And that's good. So what we could do now is we can put these sounds into the bounce. So what I could do is I can now play the right sound in bounce. So where do we bounce? The bounce is happening here. Now I can just go play sound and play the test wave, and everything should be handled for us. So dump. Okay. Alright, so if it gets stuck in there, it really goes, it just goes crazy there. So really, that's because of my programming. I should set the Y to, if it's greater than, set it to 500. If it's greater than 500, greater than equal to 500, greater than 500, set it to 500. Yeah, then you shouldn't go past like that. There we go. So it works nicely. Dump, 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 and you can see the sounds are closing itself.